What's up, everybody? Fix this fucking camera angle. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. I got an email from an individual, and I'm going to put this right out there, that where he lives, gear is legal. It's illegal to buy, it's legal to use, it's legal to obtain. You don't need a prescription. And he sends me this this email, and it's a very, it's a long email. It's got a lot of information in it, and where he's from, English is not his first language, so it's kind of got some things that's a little hard to understand. So basically, he says that he started out, wanted to make the jump, and he was going to use anabolics. Fucking camera angle. So he decided to do it, and he decided to do it slowly, using like one compound to see how his body reacts and learn how his body reacts to things. Smart decision. Now he said that I started off with just Sustanon, and he did 250 milligrams. He understood that this would be plenty for the first time. He had Arimidex, like aromatase inhibitors on hand. Now, first of all, you don't need aromatase inhibitors unless you're aromatizing. Which means if you're taking 250 milligrams of testosterone, you don't need Arimidex unless you're aromatizing. Unless your body is turning that testosterone into estrogen, it doesn't do anything. Okay, if you're on a low dose of testosterone, you're looking for something that estrogen management, Novadex, that's what is used there. So, okay, so it says, let me just go through this. He said for the first few weeks he gained about 6 pounds. He increased the calories a bit too early and gained mostly fat. He got more acne on his face and a bloated face, but it wasn't too bad. He had no positive effects at all. 6 weeks into it, again, he had nothing. No weight gain, nothing. He said he took a week off thinking that he was overtrained, and then changed the routine a bit less aggressive and increased my calories by 300. Week 8, nothing. Weight increased by 6 pounds towards week 10. Then I stopped. No noticeable muscle gain, no pump, no well-being. Gained almost 10 pounds of solid fat and water. Maybe a little bit of muscle, just because it would just be natural gaining a little bit of muscle training like that. He thought that his gear was bunk, and he went back to the place that he bought it from, and they said it's 100% pharmaceutical. And he's saying flat out, like, have I ever heard of anybody who had no effects when they used their performance enhancers? Now, he's asking my opinion, and is it possible that his estrogen is too high? And, I'm looking at this, and he's like, I have no evidence to support this. He started Arimidex after the thing, and I'm looking at, he's off-cycle using Arimidex. I'm looking at all this stuff, and he's saying, is it possible he doesn't react to testosterone? That's the bottom line. Okay, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is no, so if you're watching this, I'm not going to say his name, but anyways, if you're watching this, there was not a single bit of consistency in that entire cycle. In that entire training cycle, not one bit of consistency. You up the calories automatically. Why would you do that? Like, the stuff is not even in your system working yet. You up the calories. You automatically throw your body off whack doing that. You're now starting to use the the performance enhancers. Then you increase the weights and train like a madman, and then you figure you're overtrained, so you cut back, and then you add 600 calories. You change everything. There wasn't one bit of consistency. So it just goes to prove I don't think the drugs were fake. I think the drugs were 100% legal. You got them from a pharmacy. Plain and simple, the problem was not the drugs. The problem was you. You were your own worst enemy. You gained fat, so obviously you gained on it, but you didn't gain the muscle you thought you would. Why? Because drugs are not what makes a champion. It's not going to make you all of a sudden become better than you are if you don't train right. You're not training right, you're not eating right, you're jacking your calories up, down, you have no clue what you're doing. There's no consistency, there's no set program. Even before you start any kind of cycling, performance enhancers, or whatever the case may be, you need to be consistent with your training. And consistent, I mean that you're progressing. You're not fucking doing chest on Monday, and the following Monday you just, I'm going to do 50 sets, next week I'm going to do 2 sets, I'm going to do 30 reps. It's not like that. Consistency. So you're going to go in there and you're going to do the same things over and over again. How do you get better at doing something? You continue to do it over and over again. So if you're going to do a 1 rep max, you can't bench 50 reps all the time. You have to do 1 rep maxes to get better at your 1 rep max. If you want to get 50 rep max, you got to bench 50 reps to get better at your 50 rep max. So if you want to get bigger muscles, you have to train like you want to get bigger muscles. Not trying to figure out, am I overtraining, undertraining? Like, all that shit you should have taken care of before you even decide about performance enhancers. Your training, your diet, like your supplementation, your sleep patterns, all that shit should be in check before you even touch that stuff. Or this is going to happen. I knew kids in high school when I was in high school, that were taking stuff, and they didn't work out. And they got fat. They literally got fat. They would sit on the couch and they got fucking fat, and you'd be like, oh, I'm getting swole up. No, you're not. You're getting fat. You know, I was natural and I was getting bigger than they were, not taking anything. So the problem was, you know, they're not fucking following a training protocol. They're doing all kinds of weird shit. My advice to this guy right now is it's not your estrogen. It's not that your performance enhancers are fake. My advice to you is reevaluate what you're doing. Don't play with performance enhancers. Get on a strict regimen and understand what you're doing. You need to learn a lot more. You're saying you want to learn about your body with the gear. You don't even know about your body with training. You know, like that's the first and foremost thing. If you had figured out how your body responds to training, you wouldn't be having these issues. If you would have understood how your body responds to the diet, you wouldn't be having these issues. That's like the stuff that's basics that happen first before you add the performance enhancers in. So my advice is to go back, start over, start with a solid, sound program, a hypertrophy program if you're trying to get bigger muscles and look better. Learn what foods work for your body. Learn what right calorie amounts, macro amounts. Learn, you know, whatever you need to do. You need to learn that stuff first. Then, after you got that stuff down, you got a good year or two of training and, you know, changing those variables and moving things around and trying to figure out what's best for you. And you got that your own system down. Then you can think about going on to other things. Otherwise, I mean, this is just a waste of time, a waste of money, fucking with your health, gaining fat. Like this, you wasted, you know, 10 weeks, whatever it is. Complete waste of time, and you look worse in the end. And you're looking at, you know, is it the hormones that are, you know, my hormones out of whack? Do I not respond? No, you didn't do the training and the diet right. So piece those things together first. And, you know, above all, guys, just remember that. Can't stress this enough. You know, a lot of people think that they're cell tech. You get on that they're cell tech, and you're going to grow. And that's true for some people, but not everybody. It doesn't work like magic for everybody. Some people will go on it and be able to train anyway, and they're going to get results. Some people will have to bust their ass for, you know, different ways to get those results. Other people will literally have to count every macro and track every weight and fight for every ounce that they gain, even when they're all on that their cell tech. So just be aware. This is, you know, I mean, good luck, you know, going back and revamping everything from the beginning, because it sounds like you're a beginner and shouldn't even mess with this stuff in the first place. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is a blog. I'm BioS3 and I approve this message, and we're out.